boom, boom, man. Y'all welcome to another episode of the Freedom Train podcast series right here on the Freedom Train Network, www.freedomtrainradio.com. I am Joseph Ward, one and a half for your host of this. And this dude right to the left or right of me, whichever way you seen, is the one and only Mr. Patrick Eldarius Irvin. What it is, my brother, really going down in the South. Say we got to get it, got to do it, got to say it. And if you don't say it, then you know you got to spread. And then your mom, you know she got to play it. And everybody want to come and get down. Don't you know you got to see this sound? Because if you don't know me like me, you will got to eat Spike Lee. And I say, how you eat Spike Lee? And I don't know, just rhyme with the flow. Everybody, we got to go. So let me stop. Because I got to know that the Freedom Train podcast is brought to you by PAX Inc. That's PACTSINC. Keep up in your head. I just like got to keep my head. Freedom Train podcast series is brought to you by PAX Inc. That's PACTSINC. And PAX Inc. is a Black development organization aimed at developing the Black community to its maximum potential through a focus on education and economics with the traits of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And for more information, make sure y'all visit their website at www.pactsinc.org, right? And that way you can get all of the information that you want about PAX Inc., how to become a part of the organization, how you can donate, what the codes of conduct are, how to get involved. They got that Learning Center tab where you can go learn a whole lot of stuff, a lot of resources that you can use to help yourself enhance your abilities. And they got that store. You got the store you can support. And you can also support by signing up through the Amazon Smile program. So
I don't think they got nothing in the store right now, though. I think everything's sold out.
Oh, well, hey, pre-order then. But Amazon Smile is a program with Amazon. You type in, you can Google Amazon Smile. You can sign up through Amazon and shop through Amazon through the Amazon Smile program, which is a program that links the shopper to nonprofit organizations. So as you shop and buy the items that you want to buy, a portion of your proceed will go to an organization like PAX Inc., who's working in the community. So you can get your shop on and support the community all at the same time. But remember, PACTSINC.org. And while you're online, make sure you visit our Freedom Train website at www.freedomtrainradio.com. You see it scrolling across the bottom of that screen. freedomtrainradio.com, where it go down, stay down, be down, and all that stuff. Patrick.
What up, homie?
Man, keep that same energy, B. Because we got I sound like a preacher. Gotta let that thing. They gotta let that thing. Hey man, so we got an interesting show today. We're gonna get into this relationship stuff, but not all the way into this relationship stuff. But we're getting into this relationship stuff, right? Patrick has put me on to a new community of people called the Red Pill folk. It's a whole colony of folk. These Red Pill people, right? Now, I don't know if this guy is within this community. Patrick, you know better than I do, but there's the Kevin Samuels. That's what's his name, Kevin Samuels.
Oh man, you gonna put people's names in this?
No, we're not talking about him. But his video is a video that everybody's talking about right now because of the content of the video and what he was saying to the young lady. So I'm just saying his name because right now he's the face of it because his video went viral, millions of views on World Star Hip Hop, and almost every podcast that I know the people that I know, everybody been talking about him specifically. And I know you and I wanted to not necessarily have a conversation about him, but we did want to talk about the whole Red Pill community and the relationship aspects of those things and the relationship gurus who may or may not even be into this Red Pill community. They want to get into a lot of that stuff and just see how this stuff really applies and does it really help our community. Of course, you know, we're going to break it down and analyze it front, back, side to side and how it get down. Right. All right, so my brother Patrick,
what up?
What the hell is this Red Pill stuff, bro?
So the Red Pill refers to the scene in the Matrix where Morpheus held out his hands and he said, Neo, if you take the blue pill, then you a simp and you a sucker and you're going to die lonely and alone. Or you can take the red pill and see how deep the rabbit hole goes. And you potentially going to lose your hairline. Like,
how deep is your love me?
So, that's what it's based off of. These are people in the manosphere that have awakened to the truth.
That's what they call it.
Well, they call this entire realm of man space that is formed kind of in opposition to some of the pushes of the feminist movement and some of the pushes to kind of restructure society. They call that whole little bubble the manosphere. And the red pill group is a group that's inside of that manosphere. Not everybody in the manosphere considers themselves a part of this red pill society. Some of them are just some of the people in the manosphere are just men that feel like things are fine the way they are. There is no need to change things. Those wouldn't necessarily be people that are viewed as like red pillars, because red pillars, from my understanding, believe that society is becoming unfair to men. Nobody cares about men anymore. Everybody's doing everything they can for women. Women have all of the power. They have all of the, you know what I'm saying? They have all of the control in the current social paradigm. And as a man, they say my eyes have been open to this. I've taken the red pill and I now see women for the truth about who they are. And I see society for the truth that it is. So inside of this red pill group and the manosphere in general, you have the MGTOWs, men going their own way, right? And none of this stuff is, yeah, men going their own way. Yes.
How the hell you get mad towel out of that?
Towel. Or I guess some people say MGTOW, but
MGTOW towel.
I say MGTOW.
MGTOW. I thought you said MGTOW. I was like, I like, how the hell men
no TOW. Men going their own way. I say MGTOW.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So because when it was introduced to me many moons ago, it was introduced as MGTOW. I've been corrected a few times, but I still say MGTOW.
Okay.
So, you got the men going their own way in there, and these are men who are basically like, I'm just not going to engage anymore. I'm not going to date. I'm not going to get married. I'm not going to participate. These aren't necessarily men that have any hostility towards women, although a lot of them do. These are just men that are like, the way society is set up right now, there's no benefit to me to get into a relationship with a woman. So I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to participate. You have your MGTOWs, you have your men's rights groups who typically have formed in direct opposition to feminist groups. And that's the way society works. That's the way the world works. It's backwards, right? You got one group form over here. Another group is another group is going to form on the other side. That's just how that works. So you got your men's rights activists, you got your men's your MGTOWs, you got your pickup artists, you guys who are just going around picking up women, fucking them, and then moving on. You got your pickup artists. You even have your father's rights groups aren't necessarily true blue like red pillars or somebody that's in opposition. They're just people that feel like fathers should get more rights. But sometimes those groups kind of veer right. You know what I'm saying? They go into that area. So you got your MGTOWs, you got your incels, your involuntarily celibate guys. These are guys who want to have sex but can't find people to have sex with. They blame women for their inability to have sex. They say that it's women's fault that they're not having sex. So you got all of these different groups tucked into this red pill society. Right. And the concern with a lot of these red pillars is that Whereas we see the feminist groups go alt left and go extremely liberal, like extremely progressive. With the men's groups in response, you see them going extremely conservative. So you do have a lot of alt-rights in there. You do have a lot of white supremacist rhetoric in there. You do have a lot of those other things in there. But as far as the black red pillars go, you don't see necessarily the racism and stuff in those groups. Mm-hmm. But you do still see a lot of men in these groups that are blaming women for the problems in the world. Blaming women for their problems. Go ahead.
Hey man, look. Y'all got to realize it's a lot of simps out here who build nice platforms. All right. So just because somebody is on YouTube or on someone's social media with a large following giving information don't mean your ass supposed to listen to them. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like we could start giving dating. Matter of fact, if y'all want dating advice, email me at joe@freedomtrainradio.com for all your dating needs. I tell you, and the advice I give you gonna depend on how I feel that day. I'm being real with you up front. I might give you some good advice, and I might give you some horrible advice. And I might give you some in-between advice. If you find, I might tell you just date me. If you're a lady. So for relationship advice, email joe@freedomtrainradio.com, and me and Pat, especially the shows where we don't have a guest, me and Pat are gonna take the time to read your information, read whatever you tell us, and give you dating advice. And matter of fact, let me get ready for this dating stuff. Let me put my dating attire. Talk about the ladies and the dating stuff.
The real one's coming. The real one isn't coming. Here he is. Dr. Tips here. Need some advice to get the tip near. Tilt your head to feel tip for real. Tip been told to make them tip drill. Dr. Tip is here to help you with all your relationship needs. Send me your questions. He's got answers. You might like him. You might not. He might tell you to be a thought. He might tell you to get some self-respect. He might call you a simp. He might promote simpage. The world never knows. Only Dr. Tip knows. And that's because Dr. Tip is for real, 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 real.
I got it.
Yeah.
When you mentioned about us doing this, I sent out a message to a group of men filled with dudes at telling them what we were doing. I didn't send it to the ladies yet.
Yeah,
I'm send it to the ladies later.
It don't matter. I got my tie on. I'm ready. All you need to be a relationship guru these days, I see you need 2 key elements: is a suit, is a coat, and a tie. They lucky I ain't got them shades nearby. We can get it in with
my dude said nearby.
I should take a full length shot. I got this with my pajama pants on. It's going down.
All right. So
what's the question?
I got the question in. I got it punched in.
All right.
This is from and we're gonna call him Steve. We're gonna call him Steve. All right.
Steve-O.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Some derivative of Steve. So he says, I want to know, how can I get women to have sex with me and worship me? That's the question.
Kill yourself. No, let me stop.
Okay,
look, man.
That's gonna help.
Look, bro. First of all, you out your goddamn mind if you think somebody's supposed to worship you. You out your damn mind.
Well, why is he out of his mind though? Ain't men supposed to worship women? Women supposed to worship men, right?
No, we're supposed to respect and compliment and uplift each other, not worship each other. She ain't your God. You ain't her God. Stop. First of all, stop asking dumbass questions. First of all, let's start there. Let's start there.
So this is gonna be the tone of these conversations.
I told you, you never know what the response gonna be. But I'm sorry. Come on, man. You can't. Come on, man. Like on some real stuff. Like if my little brother asked me something like that, I would tell him the same thing. Hey, bro, stop with the dumbass questions. First of all, you shouldn't go into no relationship with no idea of a woman worshiping you. First of all, like how do you build something based off of you need her to worship you? Why? What's broken inside of you that you need a woman to worship you? That's what I want to know. And you can, if she like you, she might have sex with you. Just try being yourself and being cool and liking who like you. How about that?
Oh, like who like you? What if the only people that like me is people I don't like?
But that should let you know something where you at in life. Right? Shouldn't that let you know where you at? Because you may be batting out of your league. You might be. I don't know. I'm not a relationship expert, but I do got a coat in the town. So you know, that's halfway there. What you say? What you tell him, Pat? What you tell him?
Get an escort.
If she's not gonna worship you unless you got enough money and you pay her to actually worship you doing the act.
That's the people want quick solutions, right?
There you go.
Save up about $3,500, and you could be worshipped for an hour or two.
Or you could go to your local corner store, and you could, if you look $30, you get you a dime bag, a woman, some blunts, and a 4-pack. For $30, you go to the right corner. You trying to talk about $3,500, Pat? This man can spend $30 and get that. Now the quality of the woman.
You're right. I'm sure he wants a certain type of quality. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't say that. Well, he just said.
You're right.
He just said he wants somebody to have sex with him and worship him. I can't believe that's the real answer. You want somebody to worship you, bro? For real?
Hey,
come on.
No, it's in the men's group. You know they talk saucy in there.
But all right, so dudes like Buddy, that's their mindset. I want a woman to worship me. They go after women who not own that and get mad because they can't force the women to worship them. Then they become these angry dudes making it feel, man, women's supposed to do this and women's supposed to do that. No, your expectations was trash from the beginning.
Well, I mean, but wait though, so because you do got dudes like Nature Boy Ric Flair with the waterfalls or whatever.
Yeah, Nature Boy, yeah.
He got women fighting for his amusement on the beach.
Right, but he got like 18, 19-year-olds too.
So there's another answer. Become a slightly elevated version of R. Kelly.
only deal with girls who fresh out their parents' house, huh?
Or better yet, rescue them from their parents' house.
There you go.
Can we do that? Yeah, there you go. But you can't. I can't condone that because. Like now you fucking up the next generation of women because you're not gonna keep them, right? Like you're not gonna keep them,
right?
So you're gonna release them into the wild when they turn 25, 26. They too old. They start showing signs of being an adult and not wanting to just accept your bullshit. And you release them into the wild, and now some other man got to clean that up. Nah. Or she got to go through therapy and clean herself up. But
that's why I started off like, why would you first start asking dumbass questions?
Yeah, I think the escort route is the best answer. Save up you a bunch of money and pay somebody to worship.
But as a dude, as a real dude, as a real one, I'm not gonna give you no advice on how to like try to control and overtake women and overpower women and feel like you in some kind of dominant position of women. Your woman's supposed to be your complement, your equal, fool. No, we're not here to try to teach nobody to dominate nobody. Damn. You asked. You gonna get this how you get
no games.
You gonna get this how you get this. I might be nice the next time somebody asks. It's just today I've been watching these videos and I'm on one. All right. But straight up though, because like on some real man stuff, like real manhood stuff. I call Buddy a fool because that was a foolish ass question. And like I say, we're not gonna give no dude no advice to get with women that can potentially harm women within our own community. Like, that's stupid.
True. Now that's a fact.
That's stupid. We're not doing that, bruh. But how about this? Change your expectations and look for a compliment versus somebody that you can dominate. And if she like you and she finds you attractive, she'll have sex with you. And if you actually good at sex, she might want to do it again.
If you good at sex.
I don't know. Maybe try that. I don't know.
Why he got to be good at sex? Why she ain't got to be good at sex?
Because then he say he want her to have sex with him whenever he want.
That is what he said. That is.
So don't you think you might want to be good?
But why she ain't got to be good?
Because you want her to have sex with you. You want her to want to have sex with you.
That's a fact.
I mean, she just gonna be laying there and you get on there, you give her 5 pumps and you leave.
You give 5 pumps in the swirl. Give her that smoothie.
There you go. But see, go ahead. Nah, go ahead. Nah, I was just we over there jump roping this shit. But no, I mean, but that's another reason why, we was talking about having this conversation about the whole Manosphere and all these guys. Because let's just be real, like we're talking about, a lot of these dudes got life fucked up. A lot of these dudes are angry, bitter, and we see that on both sides. They're angry, bitter men, and they're angry, bitter women. And then these people get platforms and they start giving information, because I understand that I don't want another dude to be a simp, to get simped, or a woman to get simped. I understand that, but we're not finna teach people to be assholes. We shouldn't be out here teaching people unhealthy relationship things to do. Like, how is that helping us as a society? Because you just like, man, my heart was hurt, so I have to win. Like, why, especially black people, why are black men and women in the power struggle against each other? What are we fighting for? What kind of power are we really fighting for when both of us are powerless?
We fighting for power over each other.
Okay, so why? So if the men get power over the women, what that mean? What we gonna do with it? What does that mean? How does that help society as a whole? If the women get power over the men, what does that mean? How does that help us as a community of people?
But it's not about helping us as a community. It's about helping me as an individual.
Okay. So it's just all about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's the way most people work, right? They're not concerned about the overall society. They're concerned about, like, okay, you hurt, like I'm hurt, and I don't want to be hurt no more. And I don't have time or energy or the desire to try to fix any systemic issues. So I'm going to fix the personal issues that I encounter.
But also, a lot of people have to realize you attract who and what you are, right? Because you're not attracted to somebody who ain't on your wavelength. If I'm on channel 7 and you on channel 12, we're going to miss each other. So if we're on the same wavelength, you got to ask yourself, why am I attracting these type of people on this wavelength? Why am I here? I got to change me, right? Or should I just? I mean, because you got to take some kind of self accountability, and also, who made you mess with that person? But it's
But people don't want to change them. They want everybody else to conform to what they want. Like they want to meet a woman, they want to love the woman, and they want her to love them and adjust to them. You know what I'm saying? And the key central point in this whole red pill society is they feel like women say they want real men, but when a real man shows up, they don't want that dude. They want, when this is where we get into the things men or people in general commonly say about women, because even other women say a lot of these things, especially when they're referring to inferior or lower level chicks.
Right. Because they are the standard, right?
Right. This idea of she's not on the level, or she's not able to put out these certain things, or she's not able to do these certain things, or she's not of a certain standard to want the things that she's demanding, you know, or to ask for the things that she's demanding, or she should just be happy to be in a space with me, or she says she wants this, but then she gets it, she doesn't know what to do with it, or you got all of these themes running around, and at no point in time do many people. Now there are some men in this red pill thing, because I've been looking at this stuff for a while now, trying to figure out kind of like what drives it.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some men that I bumped into in that space that are actually telling men to be accountable for their own choices, their own decisions. To, you know what I'm saying?
But that's what you should do.
But a lot of these dudes, like you pointed out, are just speaking from a position of pain and hurt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was married to a woman for X amount of years. She did me dirty. Fuck all these bitches.
Right. Like, bro, get over it. Get you some therapy. Get over it. Like, we can't be like trying to build an army of men who are angry at women, or women who are angry at men, and we're all going to battle against each other because we're fighting for the superiority of nothing. Like, that's not helping at all. It's not helping nothing at all. Like, we're just fighting against each other because now in watching some of the Kevin Samuels videos, because I have been watching some of his videos lately, you know, like I was saying to you, I do feel like I don't know how far you would put him in the red pill community. And one thing about him is he equally gives men and women the business.
Yeah, so he gives smoke to everybody pretty equally.
Right. But you can still kind of tell that there's some business in him from what happened. But like the video that went viral, the one that went viral, it was very interesting because from the gate, he trying to tell her, hey, this ain't what you want. First of all, like we were saying earlier, he was like, you called in on the wrong day. And then you still trying to get me to give you advice. And then I'm telling you, you on the wrong day, but you could, hit me up for some real counseling services. But he gonna go ahead and give you this. So you do all that, and then I still talk to you. And when I'm talking to you, you're not listening. That's when he kind of went off on her. Well, it ain't no kind of, he actually went off on her.
Yeah,
and then that went viral and all those things there. And it's like you can see fault on both sides in there. But she does have to do a better job of listening to that man. Like if you call in a show and I'm like, hey man, this ain't the right time, and you still trying to push forward, he's not gonna be trying to be nice to you from there. He's not gonna try to be nice. So he's gonna have an attitude with you from the get.
Right. So from that point on. Kevin is interesting because I think a lot of his audience is red pillars, but I don't know that I will, and I haven't seen a lot of his content, so I really don't want to speak too much in depth on him specifically. But from what I have seen, I don't know that I would. He's definitely in the Manosphere. Yeah. I don't know that I would put him in any of the red pill groups. He might be a MAGTOW. He might be a man going his own way. But I don't know. But I can say one thing that's interesting for him is, again, he has people call into his show, and he gives everybody catch smoke. Like everybody catches smoke. So, which to me is interesting that people even call in. Now, you do have some women in the comments disagreeing with him, and you have other women in the comments supporting him. But I think that even that speaks to the idea of how difficult it is to be a relationship coach, because everybody's different. Like in the comments to his videos, you have hundreds of people, and a good chunk of them have a differing opinion. Now, most of them are his loyal supporters and followers. They're going to amen everything he's saying.
Yeah.
But you do have these pockets of people here or there that are like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, I agree with it, but this is. And then you got them people that saying I totally disagree. And for women to be in all three of those groups, it kind of speaks to the fact that you can't sum shit up like that.
Right. But that's why I go to, like, I'm asking all the questions. How does one really become a relationship expert? Like, how does, like, what is the expertise based off of? Is it based off of principle?
Experience. No, personal experience.
So that means, can everybody be a relationship expert? So should my daddy be a relationship expert?
I mean, if we're being honest about what it means to be an expert nowadays, it's simply about having a platform and followers.
Right.
There is no knowledge requirement for when you're dealing with social issues. There should be, but when you're dealing with social and cultural issues, nobody's checking your resume or your body of work.
Right, because like I say, for relationships, to say I'm an expert at relationships, what criteria was meant for you to be that expert at relationships? Because everybody's different, cultures, all these different things, principles are different between different people. Everybody's got different goals, all these different things. So how am I expert at say, hey, because it's one thing to be good at setting people up, but that don't mean I'm a good relationship expert. Because setting people up don't mean that it's going to be successful down the road. You just, hey, these two people end up liking each other. Cool. All right. But what goes into making that a successful, healthy relationship that can last? Like, how are you an expert at that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. And we've kind of been railing against relationship experts for a while now. It's one of them, like, to me, you can't help me with my relationship unless you know me and the person I'm in a relationship with. And you have to know, the details of our relationship. Once you acquire all of that, then you can give me an informed opinion on how to move forward, but with the understanding that that's your perspective,
right?
And it might not work,
right?
But the concept of somebody showing you how to be in a like these they can't, like, even with the Kevin dude or with any of the other guys that
he the only dude name I know. So I saw Coach Greg or Coach Steve or Coach Mark or somebody.
You got Coach Greg, Coach GA or CGA as he's called. You got a couple of them out there, right? You got more than a few of them out there, actually. It's a lot of them. Dr. BOA, you got a lot of them out there. But the idea that what these men are teaching you is not how to be a man. It's how to be their idea of a man.
Right. Say that again. Say it again, please. Please.
All right. So I'm saying it again.
I'm sorry.
Rewind your tape on your own and go back and listen to what I just said. No, I'm just. But seriously, what these men are teaching you is not how to be a man. It's how to be their idea of a man. It's not how to live life. It's how to live their idea of the best life.
Because they're afraid to get hurt again.
And I think for anybody in their audience, actually, that's listening to that, you got to sit back and look at it and look at, what do you know these men, first off? Like, do you know the type of life they live? And then you got to make an educated guess as to, is this the type of man that they're describing? Is this the type of man that you want to be?
Right.
Is this the way that you want to treat people?
Would you, if you had a daughter, is this the type of man you would want your daughter to be with?
And that's the deeper question, right? Because with a lot of these dudes, they feel like, well, and honestly, I feel like a lot of these dudes would be okay with that, because they feel like
that's how hurt and messed up they are.
Yeah, they feel like this is the way the world is. This is the way it's set up. This is the natural state of things. This is how it should be. And what's interesting too is this concept of a high value man, which is something that's prevalent in the
Right.
manosphere.
Right. Not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But a man's value should never be tied to how much money he makes.
And see, just by you saying that, a lot of these dudes would say he can't be a high value man.
And look. If your value as a man is tied to how much money you make, because that means you offer societies nothing at all unless you make six figures. That's what that means. You can't offer society anything. So if you have that mindset, like I can't offer the world anything unless I have six figures, then yeah, you will never be a high value man. You could be a high earning man, because there's a difference between what you earn and the actual value that you bring to the world.
Yeah, but see, where you would be getting it twisted is when they speak on high value man, they're not speaking to what you bring to the world. They speaking to the value that women place in men. So for them, it's another one of these things of saying all women want this type of man. So
because the value that they bring to the world,
man. What the value that they bring to these women's lives, they feel like women want a man that's going to make six figures. That's what they feel like.
But you make six figures, bringing some kind of look. Well, I ain't gonna say that, not everybody, but you're gonna attract different type of people with your money. So if a woman is only attracted to your money, that should tell you something about her. But value has nothing to do with money, because think about all the broke dudes who get a whole bunch of chicks, and think about the value that women place on them with no money.
True, but this is where they would say those men might not be high value men in terms of their income, but they could be over 6 feet. They could have some sort of physical characteristic that men find biologically attractive. They could have something else that makes up for the fact that they don't have income. And some of these people would say, well, those men aren't high value men, but they have something going for them to where they can still get women to sleep with them. But if a true high value man rolled up, even they wouldn't be able to do the types of things.
She gonna sleep with both of y'all, fool. Rich dudes get cheated on all the time.
Hey.
Rich dudes get cheated on all the time. Money, look, man, I'm not saying don't go get no money. Go get your money. But your value shouldn't be placed on how much money you make. I don't care what none of them cats say. My value and real dudes that I know, their value not placed on how much money they make. But they get their money though.
Well, the interesting part for me in all of this is the fact that the whole emphasis of a lot of these groups is to not center your entire world around women. But then you have a concept like the high value man, which is centered around what they think women want. It's kind of contradictory, right? like I should live my life the way I want to live it. But I should also strive to be a high value man.
Right.
And being a high value man means that I'm meeting certain standards that women find attractive. Like it's
crazy. Some bullshit.
It doesn't mesh.
Some bullshit. That's what it is.
I mean, but again, I think when we talked about this earlier, I think in the comments to a lot of these videos, even the, not the videos, but in the blogs, the Reddits, the comment sections, all of this, I think you do have a lot of hurt dudes who haven't dealt with their hurt in various capacities. I'm not even just talking about on a relationship level where they've been in a relationship and been abused. I'm talking about on an intimate relationship. I'm talking about like in general. Like maybe somebody got fired from his job and he found out that, they hired a woman to replace him. Maybe his mom did something bad, or his aunt or his grandma or some woman close to him did something bad to him. maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like somewhere they had a negative experience and a woman was involved and they just never learned to deal with it.
Yep.
So all women became projections of that woman that did them dirty.
Yep.
And it's the same thing we say when we talking about women that have been hurt.
Yep.
You know,
they do the same thing.
You got to get over that. Go get some therapy. Go get some counseling. Figure that out. But you got to get over that. It's the same thing with these dudes. Look, bro, y'all got to get over that. You know what I'm saying? You got to, like, with the incel dudes who, like, just women won't sleep with me because they sleep with all these niggers. Like, bro.
They can sleep with who they want to sleep with, bitch. Like, you ain't got no control. Look, man, like, my homeboy told me, his uncle told him, and it made good sense. First of all, so people can do what they want with their body parts. People get all up in this camera. People can do what they want with their body parts.
Right.
If a woman want to let whoever smash, the only thing you can, if you with her, now you got a decision to make. You're going to stay or leave.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she can do what she want with her stuff, just like you as a dude can do what you want with your own stuff. At the end of the day, you can. It's just as simple as that. So that's why you might want to get somebody that got real values. That values aren't built off of how much they earn or the possessions that they have.
But you know, people don't feel like those type of people exist.
Right, because they still hurt. Like I was I can't think of the name of the YouTube series, but it was 4 guys, 4 girls, and they talk about relationships. And so like it was one scene. Well, out of the 4 girls, it was like one of them that seemed like she was more mature than the other 4. But the dudes are telling these women how men think and what men want. Like men are telling these women this. And the girl is like, you lying. No, that ain't what men want. No, I don't believe that ain't because she knows what men want better than men. And I'm like, well, if you know what men want, all these things, if you know this much about men, why are you angry at men? And why are you from the jump, men lie, men lie, men lie, men lie, men lie? Well, if you got all that knowledge about men, what you doing with it? Then you had the other chick with the guy. It was funny because she told him, she was like, men are always lying. So first of all, you're going into relationships with the idea of thinking that all men gonna lie. So you're gonna attract liars. But then she was like, men should not lie. Even though they lie, they shouldn't lie. And they should be honest up front. But women can lie and withhold information up front. What? But these young girls, though, these young girls who still in there, I hate men, all men are bad, this, but I do want some dick and I do want somebody to treat me right. It's like, so, but this whole conversation just let us know that men and women are fucked up out here in our community. And we keep taking advice from people who don't know what the hell they talking about.
Well, that's a fact.
That's why I go back to, why are you taking advice from this person? Where does this person get their training from? What makes this person the expert?
I mean,
that's what I want to know.
I think people have got to take a step back and do an analysis. Like, and this is where I honestly, out of all of the Manosphere groups and the Red Pillars, I really don't have a problem with the MAGTOWs.
Men that go their own way.
Yeah, these are, I don't have a problem with a certain segment of them. Because a lot of them is like, I just don't want to play. And they'll be open and honest. They'll either say, I'm too messed up. Like, you know, you got a guy, a white guy with a channel, he's called The Better Bachelor. And he openly says in a lot of his videos, I'm messed up. Like, there's no way that I could be with a woman and not take out everything that other women have done to me on her. So, because of that, I'm not going to participate. I don't date. I got no problem with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's the responsible thing to do.
Right.
If you know you fucked up,
don't date.
Don't date. Don't fuck other people up.
Right.
Don't do it. Don't go around looking for somebody else that's not gonna notice that you fucked up. That you can try to manipulate and fuck them up in such a way that you can get what you want out of this person that you couldn't get out of the last few people. But if we have more people doing true introspection and self-analysis, we won't be having these goddamn problems. But we also need more of the elders and people stepping up instead. Because I find it interesting how many 20, 21, 22-year-olds are relationship experts.
Man, look at him. That, bruh, it's a lot of young people, and some of these dudes are in their 30s and 40s, but it's a lot of, like, it's one show, I can't think of the name of the show. They got a pretty large following, but it's two young dudes, and one dude started off, he gave him relationship advice and was like, yeah, like I was telling you yesterday, he was like, yeah, I was a late bloomer. I ain't really started getting girls in my 20s. Now, you have no business giving relationship advice then, bro. You have no business giving relationship advice if you just start getting girls in your 20s and you can't, the way dude can't be no older than 30.
Yeah, I mean, I think it to me is really interesting that a lot of these, like the red pillars on the men's side, a lot of these dudes are in their 40s and 50s giving advice, and that says something. Especially considering that a lot of these dudes, not all of them, but a lot of them, you can clearly see the hurt and the bitterness still in their voice. Like whatever happened to them was bad,
right?
Because it's for some of these dudes, it's decades later. And they still ain't. They made no progress.
They haven't gotten over it, none.
And that does speak to a report I was reading a while back that said that women take breakups harder than men, but they tend to get over them. Men don't get over the breakup. They just move on from it. And they find somebody else to kind of mask the pain. And they just don't deal with it. Women will eventually get over the bad thing that went. Now, it might take her a long time, but she will eventually get over it. And that was just according to that one study. But going back to the point I was trying to make before I got off track, it does say something that a lot of these red pill dudes are 40, 50 years old or older, late 30s or older. And a lot of these relationship women, and even the extreme feminists, with their relationship advice, not the extreme feminists that are just on some social shit, but the ones that are on some like relationship shit. You're looking at women that are in their 20s.
Like the chick we was looking at, the video you sent earlier. And see, let me get on, like, I don't understand from the women's angle, women who are recruiting other women to be submissive with them. If you want to be submissive, be submissive. That's on you. That's the doctrine you brought into. Women don't have to be submissive. That's some Judeo-Christian doctrine stuff. Because that's why I was asking the question. Where in African cultures, pre-white contact, pre-Asian contact, pre-invaders, which is pure cultural stuff, because this chick's supposed to be pro-black. She got the red, black, and green flag behind her. And I just seen a whole lot of her videos. She's supposed to be pro-black, but you still talking about women submit women. What African cultures was the submission and stuff in? Because I think I missed that. Have I missed that? If I'm wrong, let me know if I'm wrong, Pat. But it seems like the submission stuff is very Christian from people who not supposed to be Christian no more.
I mean, I think, again, we got to define terms. Like, what do people mean when they say submission? Because the definition that I use would be to accept the will or the dominance of another individual.
But that's what. But let's just be real. Like on basic definition of what it means to submit, that means to agree to be dominated.
Right. So, it is interesting when you hear women saying that they should agree to be dominated by their husband, or they should agree to be, dominated. And it's not just like submission is not just about it's about acknowledging another force as superior. And that's the part where, for me, I'm going to be honest. I never really wanted to hook up with a woman that felt like I was superior to her. That's not attractive to me. Notice what I'm saying. To me, so that's not attractive.
So this is from vocabulary.com. It says to be submissive is to obey or yield to someone else. When you are submissive, you submit to someone else's will, which literally put your own desires lower than theirs. So that's what that one's saying. That's that one definition.
And saying. So according to, I'm looking it up. According to dictionary.com, or according to the dictionary, Google Dictionary, Oxford, whatever, it says the action or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will or authority of another person.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like I view relationships are a partnership. No one person is greater than the other person.
Especially if you're coming from a true African sense.
So if you can't make a decision, then I will. And if I can't make a decision, then you should. But we should talk things through before a decision is made.
Right.
And come to some sort of consensus, some sort of agreement. I don't necessarily want to be in no relationship where a woman is calling me up about everything because she can't make a decision.
I didn't marry a child. I married a grown woman.
And that's the point. And I actually had a dude get real upset with me. And I phrased it kind of fucked up. It was like 5 or 6, or maybe it was damn near a decade ago, actually. But we were talking, and he was talking about he need a woman that's going to totally submit to him. It was on a social media group. And I was like, yo, bro, that's kind of like, it's kind of pedophile-ish, ain't it? And I understood where he was like, hold on, bro. You ain't finna just call me a fucking pedophile. But I was like, I'm not calling you a pedophile. I'm just saying you essentially want a child that you can sleep with.
Right.
Like,
because you want somebody you can straight dominate and they just do everything you want them to do and still be ready to have sex with you and that.
Right. You want a plaything. You don't want a real live adult human being. You want a plaything. Now, if you meet some little girl out there or some grown woman or whatever out there that's willing to do that, fine. Do what you do. I don't find that attractive. I find it personally to be immature. If a woman can't stand on her own 2 feet and make up her own goddamn mind and be willing to contribute something to the relationship outside of her body, that's not a woman to me.
But that goes back to what the question you asked earlier. What's your definition of submission?
Right.
Because I have a friend who, him and his wife's relationship worked. So according to him, he's the head of the household, this and this and that. But his family's together. Everything works because she was down with it.
Right.
They were on the same page with that. Now that I don't think that they submit in this. I don't think that she submits to him in the sense of the definitions that we read. I think she submits to him in that Christian sense, or that sense of my man is the head and I'll lead my man. But she brings something to the table because she don't just sit home and do nothing. She contributes to the household and he sees her as his equal.
Yeah.
Even though it's still like, I'm the head of the household.
Yeah, and again, like I said, it ain't no slack. Like, you know,
right.
if that's how it works for you, that's like, do what works for you. For me, and the whole head of the household thing, because that's something that, like I said, if I'm gonna be the head of the household, I'm gonna be the head of the household. All right, like, and when I say
you gotta understand that come with that.
Right. Like, you can't say I want a man to lead this house, but then fight me on leadership. Like, that's
right.
not how that works.
Right.
So if I'm gonna be the head, I'm gonna be the head. Now, for me personally, and dudes could call me a simp all they want. That's cool. That's fine. Whatever. And this is the other thing. Like, I really don't concern myself with what other men think about me. Like that. And that to me is the weirdest thing ever, that a lot of these dudes in these groups be so concerned about what other men think about
what
me.
I told you yesterday, bro. If it look like a duck, walk like a duck, quack like a duck, swim like a duck, it's a duck. Right. These dudes ducks.
Like I'd be like, yo, as a man, right? I really don't give a shit what too much of nobody think about, but that's the way I was raised. Like, men stand on their own 2 feet and they move how they move. And it doesn't matter if somebody think you a simp, somebody think you a lame, somebody
you
think
get down how you get down.
You do what you do as a man.
Is it horrible? Is it harmful to your life? Is it horrible to? Is it hindering you from getting where you're trying to go? Because I can call you a simp all day. Because it's a whole lot of stuff that I wouldn't do, that I see a lot of married dudes do. But at the same time, they got wives. I don't.
Well, if you're content with the outcome of the decisions you're making, who am I to say you making bad decisions? But that's the other thing I find interesting. So I say that to say, for me personally, the way I get down naturally is not on no head of household shit. I want a partner. I want somebody that's gonna talk to me. We gonna come to an agreement about things, and we gonna move as a unit. If I need to step out and lead, I'll step out and lead. If she needs to at some point step out and lead, she's willing to do that. But if you come to me saying, all right, I need you to be the head of the household and I need you to make a decision, cool. But understand what comes with that. Because I'm not saying I'm not willing to do it. I'm saying you need to understand what comes with that. So if you want a man to be in that space, then when he says, I want you here at this time and blah, 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 you need to
it's a power dynamic. Because it is a power dynamic. When you say you're head of the household, you are saying you have the most of the power in this relationship. It's a power dynamic. But once again, it goes back to, we see a lot of people who are coming from and I'm only talking about the people coming from the Afrocentric space, the African-centered space of we're repatriation, the repatriation back to our African culture, our African roots and all these things. And we're supposed to be going back to our African ways, but you're bringing all this white Christian stuff with you, and you're supposed to be against that and getting away from that. But you're bringing it all with you.
Right. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that's one of the things that people aren't really recognizing. You're giving messages to people because you have a specific view on how life and relationships should be. And anybody who doesn't agree with you, something is wrong with them, but you're on a mission to get others to buy into your way of existing in relationships. And this, once again, why I don't understand why people be recruiting. Why you got to recruit other people to get down the way you get down? Just get down the way you get down.
That's the weirdest thing to me. Cause
if it's so great, stop recruiting. Just do it.
But that's kind of where I am with it. Because even with, like, I understand that psychologically speaking or biologically speaking, women are more in tune with the social dynamics of a culture or a society. But even to that, like the way I was raised, adults move how they move. And so I know I spoke about being a man earlier, and that's just my view of manhood. Man move. But adults, period, are not overly concerned with what the larger dynamic thinks about them. I'm not out here trying to recruit you to nothing. Like, I'm happy with how I'm moving. If you see how I'm moving and you're like, oh shit, you making moves over there. How can I do that? Cool. I can help you get down the way I get down.
Right.
But this concept of I need to bring people. We see the same thing when people are talking about poly relationships, polygyny, polyamory, polyandry, all it. Like they're
I want to tell everybody recruiting about it. Why?
Like, why are you recruiting? To me, you don't truly feel good about what you got going on.
You need other people to validate.
You need validation. That's what that comes across as to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is, though. That's what it is. That's why they recruit, because they need validation. Hey, what I'm saying is correct. Because, like we're saying, the young lady video that you sent me, looking in the comments, she needs to look at her comment section. For one, she only responded in any kind of way to people who totally agreed with her. And two, did you see a lot of the mess and malice in her comments? Like, the stuff the dudes were saying was not healthy. It was not harmful. So you got dudes basically saying, well, hell, I'm going to just leave women alone all the way and this and this. I'm just stick my dick down their throat and all this and this. And like, look, you got to pay attention to stuff like that. Like, if you're giving relationship advice and you're doing all this and you're supposed to be presenting yourself as somebody who's helping people heal, look at your comment section. You see the filth in your comment section? This coming from the talk that you gave. So why are these comments coming from the talk that you gave? You need to reevaluate something.
That'd be the other thing too about these things, the half-ass job they do. If you're gonna produce counseling type content, you gotta finish the fucking job.
Yeah.
Go into the fucking comment section and address all of those things you just stirred up from people watching your video. Like, if you're gonna be in that space, and I know people gonna say it's time consuming, it's this, let's be
this is what you started. You ain't gotta do it all in one day, but it's what you started.
Right. You at the very least, people that have a question or people that seem like they have been genuinely disturbed are knocked off their block by what you said. I'm not saying you got to comment to every great post, I love this. No, you can leave those alone. But if there's somebody that's genuinely been knocked off their block or has a real live question, finish the fucking job. Finish your food. Clean your plate. Leave a comment.
Right. Address that. Have a conversation.
Address it. Or do another video about it, or like some kind of way. Like, it's too many of these relationship people out there creating content, stirring up all of these feelings and emotions in their listeners. Some of them making their listeners relive negative experiences, and then they just leave them there.
Yeah. But then once again, that's why you got to be careful who you call yourself getting relationship advice from. You got to be careful who these people out here calling themselves gurus, and just because they built a large platform. Remember, Donald Trump. Look how many people support Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. The foolishness he does. Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian and the Kardashian clan should be two reasons to let you know that just because people got a platform don't mean you should necessarily listen to them. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, like, folk, we have to be more serious and more intentional about the way we go about relating with each other. I'm about men. I'm about especially black men and black women having healthy relationships. So people, and I understand I'm not the one to help you get over your hurt, but we're going to have to get over our hurt so we can have healthy relationships within our community. We got to, especially if like those of us who plan on having kids, those of us who have kids, what kind of word and relationship scene are we leaving our kids? It's getting worse. If we keep saying it's getting worse, it's getting worse. Imagine how worse it's going to be when our kids get out there.
That's a fact.
But so what are we really doing to promote real healthy relationships that are free of bias, that are free of personal agendas? Like, what's happening? That's what I want to know.
Not doing enough. We're not doing well because, again, all of these people come in. They might, and here's why I say finish your food. All of these people might have the best of intentions, but the mere fact that they're stirring stuff up in their audience and then not addressing it makes them a danger, because these people are now wound up from these videos and going out into the world and interacting with other people.
Right. But you're full of shit. I don't give a damn what your intentions are. If you know your ass don't have the professional training or the credentials or none of that, and you just, I want to talk about relationships because people keep asking me about relationships. Well, shit, start hanging around better people so they can stop asking your ass about relationships.
Well, That's another thing, right? Like, if you constantly getting asked, if you're, and this is the interesting thing, right? If you're constantly being asked about relationships from people, and you're not even in a healthy relationship, you might want to reevaluate your circle.
Hey, I done fucked people up before. They ask me, it's like, shit, I ain't got nobody. What you asking me for? And they look at me like, because they think, oh, well, all right, Joe, you read, you know some stuff, you smart, you got to know about everything. Bruh, coming to me for relationship advice, the same thing as going to the dude at McDonald's just out the blue, they're pulling your car to McDonald's, getting out and going inside and asking them to fix your engine. That's the same thing. Like, I understand what a healthy relationship and the dynamics that should go in a healthy relationship. I understand that. But what successful relationship am I actually in right now?
Yeah, and I mean, and here's the thing, right? It's one thing to say I understand the dynamics of a healthy relationship. And I can, like in your case, I can teach children how to identify a healthy relationship. But it's a totally different thing. Or teach children and adults. I don't want to just limit you to children. I can teach people how to identify the aspects of a healthy relationship. It's another thing totally to say.
And that's based off principles.
Right. But it's another thing totally to say, I can help you fix your intimate relationship with your partner.
Right, because that's not based off principle.
Totally different things.
That's not based off principle. And
totally different.
And so that's the thing. It's one thing like you're saying about the healthy relationship. All right. We've been able through studies, all these things to identify healthy aspects and unhealthy aspects. So let's look at these healthy aspects and these unhealthy aspects, and let's be honest with ourselves. Which ones do we really want in our relationships? Now, applying them, you need to go past me for the application of that. Somebody else got to come at you and help you with the application of that, not me.
And even with that, a lot of that is you understanding who you are. Like, it's hard to teach you how to, because when we start talking about application, right? Now we're talking about taking your personality, your character traits, your behavioral patterns, and utilizing them in such a way that you can get these healthy outcomes in your relationships. Well, in order for me to help you do that, I need to know who you are. And in order for me to know who you are, you need to know who you are. So that you can tell me who you are. Because it's one thing to say, I look at, and I hear this a lot from parents. And myself being a parent, I can speak to this. You think you know your kids until you realize you don't.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, you don't know what's going on in their heads. You don't know what they're thinking about. You don't know, you know what I'm saying, how they're processing information. You know how you intend to give it when you're teaching.
Yeah.
But you don't know if that's how they're actually receiving it.
You got to ask them.
Right. You don't find out until they open their mouth. And it's like, whoa.
So what does this mean to you? Tell me how you understand what I said. What is this? And let them tell you.
But in order for you, and I say again, in order for you to really understand a person, that person has to be willing to share their thought processes with you. So this whole concept of anybody feeling like they can teach somebody else.
Somebody gonna make a meme out of me. I'm sorry. I'm listening. Somebody gonna make a meme out of this shit. Just leave that like that.
You know what? You should beat him to the punch and make him.
I know.
You know what's crazy is it's actually really beneficial for me that my camera is over here and you're on the screen over there, because like I can't see you, because I know that whatever's going on over there would be fucking me up right now. I know for a fact. Whatever you're doing.
Just had my nipple hanging out.
Yeah. I know for a fact. But I think the concept or the idea that you could teach somebody how to apply certain aspects of a healthy relationship. Like, I think you can teach people how to identify, you can teach people how to maneuver, but you can't really, in my opinion, teach people how to apply unless you know these people, because the application is going to be different based on personality, characteristics, and environment. So that's another one of these things where I'm like, even if you're a relationship coach or a relationship guru or whatever, being able to understand, well, these are the aspects of a positive relationship. Again, and that has to be taught, in my opinion. These are the aspects of a healthy relationship. These are what a man, this is what a man does. This is what a woman does. This is how they coexist together. But in order to teach you how to get from where you are to where you need to be, from my point of view, I got to know both of y'all.
Straight up. Straight up. Hey, some funny shit real quick. That's totally off subject. Some funny shit. Hey, so this chick posted to some dude, "It's my birthday. Can you bless my cash app, please?" Brother say, "Father God, I ask that you bless this young lady's cash app and wrap your arms around this woman's cash app and grant it serenity, peace, and glory, Father. God, I ask that you shine your light and heavenly eyes on this young queen's cash app, Father God. I ask that you make sure this young lady's cash app is forever blessed in white baby Jesus' name we pray. Amen." Hallelujah. Hey, that's a hell of a response.
Amen. Amen.
Hey man, but nah, I'm that hallelujah. But to start to wrap this up, man.
Energy to her cash up.
Straight up, and make sure you hit mine too. Joe Ward 84. Joe Ward 84. But look, we have to get past the point to where our relationships are power struggles, right? Mm-hmm. We have to get past the point to where people feel like their value is tied to possessions of money. We have to get back to real self-esteem, to real values, to real things that people bring to the table, not just superficial things, because the superficial things can be taken away. Nobody cares about your looks on a certain level. It matters, but it don't matter, because you can always be replaced. I just believe in, once again, I'm not a relationship guru, relationship expert, but we will be taking relationship advice on this show. If you wanna take the chance of getting advice from us, I'm gonna tell you off top. It depends on how we feel, whether your advice is going to be nice, right, wrong, or good or not. We could give you some of the craziest advice. You ask me relationship advice, I tell you to go kiss a fish. I don't know. But if you want to take the chance to see just what happens, email at joe@freedomtrainradio.com your relationship questions, and me and Patrick will give you the advice that we feel you need on that particular day, right?
Or you can follow Freedom Train Network on any of the social media platforms and send your questions there.
There you go. Tell them again.
You can follow Freedom Train Network on any of the social media platforms and send your questions there.
Say it one more time for Dr. Umar.
You can.
But for real though, man, like straight up, like let's get relationships in a better place. I want to say back on track, but we're so far off the track. We got to get back to a better place. Be careful where you get your information from. Don't be so hard pressed for information that you just take it from somewhere. You don't need an amen corner. You don't need somebody telling you what you want to hear. You need the truth. So we just got to do better than that, man. And some folk, a lot of folk need healing. A lot of folk need therapy, because a lot of people out here hurt. A lot of men out here hurt. A lot of women out here hurt. And they out here trying to give people relationship advice when they shouldn't be, because they still hurting and all that stuff. We just wanted to analyze, just have a discussion and do some analyzation on this dating scene and just everything with relationships now, from a lot of people who are the experts, who are supposedly the experts.
I am going to say, real quick, you brought up the track, and that was interesting to me because we've been using the moving train track on the graphics, the videos, for a while now. I'm gonna follow Joe's lead. What y'all think of that? What y'all think of that?
Come at the bottom.
Let us know what y'all
think. Come at the ticker at the bottom.
No. See, you ain't watched the video yet.
I told you I ain't watched the whole thing yet.
So you shouldn't, because I'm trying to use the future concept. Because by the time this video come up, weeks gonna be.
I'm sorry. All right, so yeah, use the track.
It's broke. It don't. Now. Hey, it's broke.
Pat, at many times. Remember that time when I said one date and you said the other day.
It's broke now. For those of you that don't know, we do record some of these shows like weeks and weeks and weeks in advance.
Take my shit off.
We'll just drop them on you like 2 or 3 weeks after we done recorded them.
Relationship time is over.
This dude, YouTube is definitely gonna not monetize this, so I guess it's good that we don't have a huge YouTube platform, because YouTube is gonna see all your nipples and everything, and they're gonna be like, "Yep, nudity demonetized."
Yep. Hey man, these man nipples though, that's different. Man nipples different from women nipples.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think nipples. YouTube cares. I don't think.
See, there's a difference between nipples and titty nipples. I learned that. So, but with that being said, man, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Gonna catch y'all on the flip side. I am Joseph Ward. He is Patrick Irvin. And we ain't about that bullshit, man. Peace out. Gang signs in your face. I don't know what gang sign I just threw up. I probably didn't throw up no gang sign. The gang signs in y'all face. And catch y'all on the flip side. FreedomTrainRadio.com.